week of the show, and it's only been 5 seconds. Aren't we all wonderfully imperfect creatures? Hi, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins, and I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. And today we're going to do something pretty fun. We're actually going to have a good time today. I'm going to call a lot of you a bitch. I'm not supposed to say that word because people get a little pissy, but I'm not actually going to say that word. But I'm going to call a lot of you out. A lot of you. I deal with people every day who are too afraid to take the steps that would catapult them into a new success. And that's a little bit different than dealing with trauma and kind of baby stepping your way into a new future. But there are people that absolutely refuse to take any steps because of the what ifs, that I've done this, I've done that. So today we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. And today might not be as long of a show as what you're used to because we're going to do things a little different. And at the end of the show today, I'm going to introduce you. We're going to do what's called a member showcase. We are going to hear from Jamal Whitaker out of North Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What's up, Jamal? My brother from another mother. I've got a bunch of those, by the way, and they're all super cool people. But Jamal happens to be in Kensington, which is kind of a tough area of Philadelphia. It's a little bit of a tough area, but we're going to talk to him a little bit later. But first, I want to send some shout outs. I'm wearing this awesome t-shirt. This is a Matt Couch design. And as you guys know, Matt Couch has been a heavy supporter of All Joy Inspired and of Elizabeth Spraggins. That would be me. Heavy supporter. So when I first came forward and talked to just the general public about, hey, I'm making some changes in my life, and I could really use some good people and some friendship and some mentoring. And Matt Couch was one of the very first people to step forward and say, I got your back, girl. Way to go. Find your faith in Christ. I'll be here for you every step of the way, no matter what it is that you want to talk about. I'm always going to be here for you. So today, in honor of Matt Couch, I am wearing his t-shirt. And if you guys want to check out his t-shirt collection, you can buy it at faithandfreedoms.com. And also, of course, in the show description, you're going to see that very good friend I consider. He went through some near fatal injuries, medical situations a couple weeks ago. And he's going through a tough time. So go to the description of the show. And if you can give $5, if you can give $10, if you can give $1 zillion, go support a good person doing good things for people like me and people like you. Always there as a source of moral support, of spiritual support, and just an all-around good guy. Go help him out if you can. Okay, before we go on, you all know what time it is, right? I put the lights on extra bright just so you can see better. I gotta find the damn Beard Vet over at beardvet.com. I love you guys. I love you guys because in conjunction with Matt Couch, Beard Vet and all of the people that work there, owned and operated by veterans, by the way, disabled or able-bodied, they employ, all veterans who work there, military service, fantastic people. They were also a group of people who were very good to me. Now, I don't know a lot of you out there who are used to seeing porn stars, just outright sex workers say, hey, I've had a change of heart and I kind of like to come back to society now and do different things. And, I'm not sure where I belong, but throw me a line here. I got nothing. And beardvet.com was among the other first group of people to say, we got your back, girl. If you're a good person, you're a good person. We don't care about your past, which is what we're talking about today, by the way. But the guys and girls over at BeardVet, they didn't care about my past. They didn't care that I was a shameless individual. I really was shameless. And they welcomed me with open arms. They treated me like a human being, like everybody else. And for that, I'm always going to be loyal to beardvet.com and to faithandfreedoms.com. Speaking of which, I brought visual aids for this, by the way, because I was going to run an ad spot which means I was going to talk about something that they had just come out with, a new release product for beardvet.com. You guys know what this is, right? Yeah. If you work night shift, if you get up at like, oh, what the 100, you know what this is. You also know how much these cost. For a can this size, it's about $5. And for one bigger, it's closer to $7 here in Las Vegas. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to pay that much? I mean, a lot of people don't have that much money to throw around these days on one drink, right? So, beardvet.com and all the guys and girls over there who made it their mission to serve their country and now have moved on to other things, they came out with this. Beardvet Energy. So this is 64 ounces. 64 ounces. And 2 pumps of this, 1 ounce each, makes a solid energy drink this big, right? You can put it in your cocktails. You can put it in your soda. You can mix it with water over ice. I wouldn't recommend drinking it straight. That, unless you're a weirdo. But you can get 32 energy drinks out of this. Now imagine, what would 32 of these cost? $5 times 30? It's $150. Yeah, go check them out. Beardvet.com. Almost a third of that. You got a month's worth of energy drinks right here. I only brought it in. I'm not drinking it out of the straw, but go check them out. Save yourself $100 a month on energy drinks. Put your 2 squirts in your cup. Don't get nasty. Okay, where were we? We're going to get started today. Today we are talking about looking your monsters in the face. Now, when we make changes, sometimes people, they're going to be a-holes. Every single day, I hear from people that are like, you're nothing but a, nighttime girl, in other words, depending on where they're from. But it doesn't even bother me anymore, because when people talk to me like that, they're telling me what they hate about themselves, what they hate about their lives. But we're going to go into this. So stay with me. It's Saturday night. My hair is still wet because I got out of the shower 7 o'clock this morning, and this weave is not drying because I had it in a braid all day. All right, you guys, here we go. Yo. Before you do anything, before you take any steps, you have to accept what it is in the past that you've done. You've got to accept it. It's over. It's a part of who made you who you are. And it's a part of who you are going to be. And in order for you to move forward, you have to face it dead on. Right? I mean, you can't expect, honestly, to grow as a person and to develop new strengths and new armor, if you will, a thicker skin, if you don't actually address the reason that something makes you feel bad. And the way to do that is to listen. Listen. People talk to me like all the time. And I got to tell you, no, it doesn't always make me feel good. And sometimes, depending on the person saying it, it might hurt my feelings. It might. I mean, I'm not made of stone. I mean, my husband thinks that. Sometimes if we argue, we don't argue that much anymore, but I love you, honey. I love you. But when we used to fight, he would think never mind. My mother raised me. She taught me to argue. My father taught me to love it. I'm a complete package of debate. But you got to listen. You got to listen. But first, you have to acknowledge what it was that people are saying. And we've had shows in the past when I wasn't as experienced in this sort of thing. But if you were a sex worker, yeah, I was a sex worker. If you went to prison, I sure did. Oh, speaking of which, okay, Ian Smith came out with a book, and it was called Find Your Hill. Worth fighting for, in parentheses. I had it up there, but this week's book is going to be a little different. If you pay attention, you're going to notice that some of these things change. The American flag stays put. My beard vet stays put. But the book of the week changes. So this week's book is going to be Unlock Your Potential by Jeff Lerner, who founded Entre Institute, which is a school that I went to that taught me how to do all of this fabulous stuff. I'm going to be on his broadcast next week. I told him today, I says, we're going to break the internet, Jeff. He laughed at me, but that might actually happen. Might happen. I don't know. I don't know the future, but you gotta listen. If you went to prison, if you did sex work, if you had an affair in your marriage and you regret it, because not everybody regrets it. But if you regret it, if you feel bad about it and someone's calling you out, what's your defense? You really don't have one, right? Or what if, well, that's pretty much all the things I can think of, except for screwing up financially. Maybe you tanked a business. Maybe you did a friend wrong. Okay, so you're moving on. You're making changes. You want to leave all that dark behind you. You want to move on to a new, happier life, change the behaviors which made you want to make those decisions in the first place, right? So you're kind of nervous about telling people about the new you, right? Now, I'm just going to use an example. Quite a few sex workers have come forward recently of the in-person variety. Don't be dicks about it. Of the in-person variety and of the on-camera variety. And then we have communications. I have to be careful about how I talk about stuff because some of these platforms, they don't believe in this sort of thing. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Hold on a sec. I need a sip of my Beard Vet coffee-derived energy drink. It's really good. You really could put it in water and it would be amazing. Okay. A few sex workers have come forward. Now, recently and even in today's news, there was a video that I shared on my Twitter about how they are outright telling you that the new changes that they plan on making are going to prevent people from purchasing or selling adult entertainment content. I can't say that other word because, it is what it is. But you all know what I'm talking about, right? So all of the people who do that to make a living, they're kind of out of luck. Like, what are they going to do? Especially if they've been doing it for 20, 30 years. And that's all they know. And all of their bank accounts and all of their assets are attached to that adult-oriented business. So when these digital changes are made, their bank accounts are flagged. People are not going to be allowed to transfer money or digital coin to them. So what are they supposed to do? So a few of them have actually been listening to me. Now, I know I come across as a little bit wacko. I do. Hey, I give you that. I sound crazy to myself half the day and twice on Sunday. But it's only because I have so much love in my heart for my fellow man and woman. And for the people of the adult industry, I genuinely have love in my heart for them. And I see this coming. Now, I left for different reasons. They might not get that choice. They might be completely shut down in one way or another, unless they work on a barter system or the dark market. I don't know. But for those who are preparing now, they've started preparing their businesses. They've started learning bits and pieces of how to get started. But while they're learning how to get started, they're also facing criticism as people that knew them and know them as that explicit entertainer. They don't want them to leave the business. They don't want them to succeed outside of it. And some spouses, some friends, some colleagues, and some clients, customers have said some pretty nasty things. And it's causing these adult entertainers to doubt their choice to leave the work. And that's what I do. I help them stay on track. I help them with the motivation and the courage and the belief in themselves that sometimes they forget. So in order to move beyond that hurtful feeling that happens when somebody throws your past up in your face, like I saw you getting XYZ on camera by this many people or in that situation. If you're embarrassed about that, you don't want to hear about it. You don't want somebody, to think of that the first thing to say to you when you're saying, hey, I found Jesus Christ in my heart. Oh, yeah? Well, how does that taste in your mouth? It's not a celebration of life, right? When somebody says that. So the first thing you got to do is you got to make it a part of your story. Did you go to prison? Did you go to jail? Did you get in trouble for drunk driving? Or maybe did you hurt someone? Or worse, you have to make it a part of your story. A good example of this, Ian Smith, he wrote that book, Find Your Hill, parentheses, worth fighting for. And when I shared on my social media that I was really enjoying the book, because I really did, I thought the book was a fantastic read. It brought up a lot of points that I related to, especially because I myself went through a total transformation. And I'm not complete yet, but I'm getting there. Okay. But Ian Smith, he went to prison. And he, what the book says is that he was out partying with his friends the night before, went home, went to bed, and then woke up in the morning, realized that he was late getting to his mother. He promised his mother he would help her move some things around the house. So he got in his car, and while he was driving to his mother's house, he had an accident. And in that accident, somebody died. I mean, he was a young dude when this happened. So they found out after taking him to the hospital, even though he had not had time to drink, that he still had alcohol in his system from the night before. And he went to prison for vehicular manslaughter. I believe that's the right charge. I believe. I mean, okay. But he did. He went to prison for killing a young man, and he deeply regretted it. Deeply regretted it. And when his time in prison was over and a sentence had been served, the people of his community wouldn't let him forget it. And even when I shared that book and a story of hope and redemption, which is the book, it's a story of redemption. It's a story of fortitude and of not giving up, of not allowing someone to bully you. Go find that book. It's by Ian Smith, and find Your Hill, worth fighting for. Excellent read about redemption, about not giving up, and about not allowing people to beat you down. And it has to do with the government, for those of you out there who, no, I'm just saying, Matt Couch, go to faithandfreedoms.com. But a lot of people were real quick to bring up his past, which, by the way, happened, I'm going to say 20 years ago, I believe. I mean, I don't know the exact date offhand. I have the book. But the first thing that some people were quick to say was that, yeah, the guy's a scumbag. I'm like, really? I mean, I understand that it was a very serious thing that happened. And yes, someone lost their life. And that can never be dismissed. However, there are things in a conversation that are being had right now that are not of that dark nature. So if you've ever done something terrible and you've ever had a tough time getting people to let it go, obviously not somebody dying is something you just want to let go, but still, you're going to create new memories. You're going to create new reasons for people to think different things about you, but you have to understand what it is that they're saying. All right. For instance, something just as simple as personal accountability. Are you overweight and you're trying to lose weight? You don't want people constantly, reminding you of the fact that you used to be 40 pounds heavier, or that you used to eat hamburgers at their house. Or maybe you're just bad with money. Are you bad with money? Did you lose your business because you messed up your books, didn't pay your taxes, maybe didn't organize your balance statements? Or if you're having trouble in your relationships, are you genuinely terrible at telling someone you love them, or that you appreciate them, or that you need them in your life? Okay, because we got past the other one, the big bad mojo. Yeah, I've had a colorful life. I don't know a single interesting person alive who is truly a powerful and effective community leader who hasn't seen something. There is no perfect human. And that is why asking for forgiveness is a big deal. There is no such thing as a perfect person. Well, there's only one, but He's not here anymore. Okay, moving on. Don't let anybody throw your past up in your face. Anytime they do that, you just tell them, yeah, that was a part of who I was. That is something that I did. I'm not proud of it, but I don't live that way anymore. And if you don't like it, there's the door. I live a different life now. I see things differently. Now, how about you stick around and give me a chance to show you? Oh, snap, you caught me vaping. Yeah, I have a terrible habit, but you know what? I'm not mad about it, so I'm not mad about it. I love vaping. I probably shouldn't, but I don't care. I enjoy it. Where were we? I got distracted. ADD is a real thing, by the way. Yeah, some people disagree, but then again, I don't care. I don't care what they think. I care, but not what people think. Are you avoiding taking steps in your life? Are you avoiding making changes that could really, really work out for you? For instance, I have a good friend who went through a terrible time with a past relationship. Now, the individual that my friend was with did some serious damage, and we all know what this is like. But it's left my friend not willing to meet new people, and it's been a while. And with a little bit of help, hopefully that will happen soon for this person. Because when you have a loving heart and you have so much to give the world, you owe it to the world to share your gifts with people. But that's what I'm talking about. Are you allowing your fear of being ridiculed, of being shamed, from keeping you from making, new changes in your life, new steps? Are you not taking a risk of starting a business, of beginning a new relationship, of making amends because you're afraid of being shamed or humiliated or even tempted? Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. So what are you going to do? You're going to own it. You're just going to own it. You are going to make your past a part of your story. And the way to do that, and I can't stress this enough, the way to do that is to express it in the following manner. Yeah, I did that thing and it was awful, or it was distasteful, because awful and distasteful are two different things. What I did was distasteful. It was pretty bad. And some of the things that I did on camera, no, I'm not proud of. At the time, I had a lot of fun for the most part. But let's say you did something awful, like hurt someone or cause other people, stress or harm. It is a part of who you are. It's a part of who you're meant to be. What sense does that make? Why does that make any damn sense? Well, let's just say, okay. Yeah, that's kind of hard to explain. It's hard to put into context. Hold on, I gotta pick up my notes. Let's just say you went to prison. Let's say you committed a crime and you went to prison, and now you're trying to make a new life for yourself. What are you supposed to do? How do you use that nasty thing that people say about you to your benefit? Ooh. Okay, there's a man, I don't know, do I have his book in here? I might, because I read it all the time. Oh, give me a sec. Yes, I do. In fact, I have 2 copies. This man, his name is Weldon Long. I have read this book 4 times. The Power of Consistency by Weldon Long. Yo, this man was a 3-time convicted felon. And he got out of prison for the 3rd time. And he had the same, stereotypical tough time in society because nobody wanted to give him a chance. I mean, the guy was a 3-time screw up, right? And nobody wanted to give him a chance, even though while he was in prison for the 3rd time, he genuinely had a change of heart. And he had a mindset transformation, like for real. But nobody would give him a chance to show them that. So what Weldon Long did, and if you read his book, if you've ever been in prison, and you're having a hard time making a new life, I really recommend this. It's a really good book. It's inspiring. Even if you didn't go to prison, it's inspiring because sometimes we all feel trapped in our own prison. And when we're ready to leave that prison, we don't know what to do with ourselves, or people don't want to give us a shot to show that we really have a change of heart. Read this book, that one and the one by Ian Smith. Weldon Long decided that people were going to treat him like garbage no matter what he did, no matter how hard he worked to prove to people that he was a different man. And he acknowledged, yeah, I did some terrible things. I made some awful mistakes, but that doesn't mean I don't deserve another chance to show you I'm a different man now. I'm just going to let my example say that for me. So Weldon Long went on to become a multimillionaire. And when he went legally, and when he, right? And then when he became a very successful and financially independent man, he began to write books and he began to mentor and teach other people who have been trapped in some kind of a prison after they release themselves or are released, how to do the same for themselves. And this is actually part of my school. This is one of the recommended readings for my school that I went to that taught me how to do everything I do today. So if you guys want to know more about that book, get a hold of me. I'll let you know. Love that book. But it's the same for you. What if you put yourself in a prison? And by that, I mean, what if you have so much guilt about something you've done and you're just starting to find that light of freedom from it because you're tired of feeling bad all the time? What do you do then? Well, after you acknowledge, yeah, I did a pretty terrible thing, and then you're tired of the guilt of it beating you up, what do you do next? Oh my God, we're going so fast. I'm actually having a really good time today. You know what it is? It's the damn music. Hi, Benny. Making changes comes with a whole bunch of doubts. You have no idea what you're doing, but you're going to give it a try anyway. And it is okay to be afraid of trying something new. New territory means you are not where you were, and that is what matters. It is possible for you to create a new life. You just have to have the courage to take that first step. I thought that was motivational AF. That was motivational as... I love that video. That one like gets me pumped. I'm like, yes. Yeah, that's right. And you know, it is okay to be afraid. In fact, fear is a good indicator you're moving in the right direction. Because if you weren't afraid of doing something, you wouldn't be stepping out of your comfort zone. Being afraid means you're stepping forward. It means that you are embarking upon new habits and new thoughts that weren't a part of your old lifestyle. And that's a good thing, right? You want new habits and new lifestyles, thoughts to scare you, or you're going to wind up right back where you don't want to be. So being afraid is a good indication you're moving in the right direction. Somebody very, very, very smart, his name is Robert Kiyosaki. I've read his books. I've seen his videos. I've listened to this man speak. He talks a lot about this. About your comfort zone is where success goes to die. But when you're afraid, those are your bad habits fighting for survival. That was the second I heard him say that for the first time, I was like, yo, that is so true. That is so true. Whenever I get afraid, I tell myself, I'm not actually worried about something bad happening. That's just all of those bad habits and those rotten decisions that I used to make. That's them fighting for survival. Am I going to let them win? No. We said at the beginning of the show, I like to argue, even if it's with myself. So if I'm afraid of something, I'm going to think about those bad habits fighting for power over me. And I'm like, nah. And I move forward. It's the same thing with you. You can move forward. Just realize that when something scares you, it's not a bad thing necessarily. I mean, yeah, don't go running into a Taco Bell on fire to go get your $1.50 back for your cheese burrito. Don't do that. Being afraid for that reason is real. But I'm saying, like, when it comes to taking risks or making decisions that can help your future grow, that's what I'm talking about. Or if you're afraid because people are criticizing you. people every step of the way. And I still, to this day, it's been a year almost since I retired, and people still shit on me because of what I did. Still, even today. And I'm like, wow, dude, wow. If that's all you know about me, you're not paying attention, because I'm making serious moves. In fact, I told the group today, I approached a disabled veteran this morning here in Las Vegas who is interested in becoming a coach and working with All Joy Inspired. So we might be bringing on another coach. What this coach's specialty is going to be, we haven't figured that out yet. But you know what? That's okay. When you're starting a new thing, you learn as you go. And that's part of the excitement of the process. But also, when people criticize you, it's because your departure from being unhappy, it frightens them. Yeah, it frightens them, and it reminds them that the things in their lives that aren't going right could change. And if something is able to change, that means you have power over it. And if you have power over it, it's because you can decide to do something differently to make that change. And if you're able to decide to do something differently, that means a decision you made put you there. And that's why seeing people change pisses people off sometimes, because that tells them they are responsible for the bad things happening in their own lives. Oh yeah, I said it. Unhappy people being D-wads. Your joy, your peace, your happiness, your desire to enrich the world pisses them off, because it reminds them of what crappy people they are. Take that to the bank and cash it. While building a new life, you're going to have to make some changes. Those changes might include people. They might include a job change. They might include maybe getting sober and seeing a doctor if you've got some medical issues you haven't been addressing. All of these things can make your quality of life better for you while you are on the path to creating a new future. No matter what it is, just get started. Ta-da! Yeah, little did you know, I actually sang as a soprano opera soloist until I was 6.5 months pregnant with my daughter. So yeah, I can sing. I can sing. Okay, before we move forward, I want to give another shout out to Beard Vet for saving me $100 a month on energy drinks. Go get you one of these at beardvet.com. They are out for sale now, I believe. I got mine on a pre-order, and because I know the owner, yeah. But yep, save $100 in energy drinks a month by getting one of these, and put your 2 squirts in a Beard Vet cup today. You can mix it with anything. You can mix it with your booze, your water, your soda. Put it on some ice and get some fruit in that bad boy. Make a slushie. I don't know. Do you like slushies? Beardo! And the fellas and gals over at beardvet.com. Love you guys. Okay. So you finally put a leash on your fear. You told everybody to go flip themselves. Now what? Now what? Your new life, your new habits, you're going to lose people. And that's not a bad thing. People are going to find their way to what they're most comfortable being familiar with. So if you truly are transforming, you're going to notice people disappearing. You're going to notice activities that you normally would enjoy. You're going to notice those preferences changing. And that's a good thing. So if you're feeling kind of lonely and you're wondering why your friends don't want to hang out with you anymore, that might be why. Because your changes, your new lifestyle, it's different than how they see their world. That's okay. Because when people leave your life, when you lose friends and your colleagues go on and do their own thing, that's just life or God or fate or whatever you believe in, making room for the people that are going to support you and encourage you and cheer you on and say, yes, you go, boy, or you go, girl. You can do this. You're doing amazing things. And maybe those same that are coming into your life now that you have room for it are going to show you the direction that is going to push you towards your legacy and your purpose in life. Because I got to tell you, not everybody knows what their reason for being born is. Not everybody knows what their purpose is. And it's kind of a Zen thing. Like, it takes some people a long time to figure that out. But when you know without a shadow of a doubt. And there isn't a single person on this planet who can change your mind about that. A single person. When you know it in your heart, and it drives everything that you do, every decision you make, every person you talk to, every word that comes out of your mouth, every book you read, every thought you had is about that purpose or something related to it. And the right people in your life can guide you to understanding and discovering what that is, which is awesome. So awesome. Okay, so maybe you get sober and you lose your drinking buddies. They don't want to hang out anymore because you being sober reminds them that they drink too much. If they do, right? We all know somebody like that. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to move on to the Jamal Whitaker interview because that was a ton of fun, you guys. It was a ton of fun. Okay, here we go.
I'm from Philadelphia, North Philadelphia. I'm in the Kensington neighborhood section.
Oh, that's a tough area.
I have bad news to tell you, audience. I live with a bunch of homeless people from the train station and from the library, which you can call it Needle Park.
I want to make sure I heard you right. Did you say you live with homeless people?
Yeah, from the train station to the library, which I used to go to, but now it's closed down.
You have been providing housing with them?
No.
Oh,
they haven't been COVID shot yet.
I thought you meant that you were providing emergency housing with some people who were unhoused.
I would avoid them while I'm on the bus.
It's a pretty tough area where you're at in North Philly. It's historically known. For most people that don't know, North Philly is very vibrant, and it's also a very stressful part of Philadelphia to live in. And my good friend Jamal here, you see a lot. What does North Philly look like? No, I didn't forget to unmute the mic. I got a little wild a minute ago, right? I got a little wild. So I wanted to explain to you guys who Jamal Whitaker is. And I'm about to make some jokes, and we're about to have a spirited, fiery conversation about Jamal. But Jamal lives in one of the most dangerous cities in the entire country. And his focus is not to become bitter or angry at the world. His focus is, how can I help these people? And we talk about that in a little bit. But he's also a hardcore Philadelphia Eagles fan, which I am too. So another side note, shout out to Prince Blue out of Philadelphia. I love you, man. I can't wait to do your show. All right, you guys, let's get back to this interview. He's a trip. Jamal's a trip. You guys are about to say
killings.
So it's pretty serious.
And there's another thing.
What's that?
There are a lot of drug dealers over there.
Yeah. There's a lot there. I've noticed that. I've heard a lot about the Kensington, North Philly area being pretty active with drug use and paraphernalia. I mean, that's gotten pretty bad everywhere, though, Jamal. It's not just where you are. Huh? Given that there's so much going on and so much stress in the population in general, a lot of people are choosing to find a way out with self-medicating, I guess. Is that something that you have seen around you? People kind of dealing with stress with intoxicating themselves?
All the time. All the time. And it hurts me. It hurts me the most.
I can tell.
I haven't moved since.
What would you say? Because I've always thought the world of you. You have the most incredibly big, beautiful heart. And I can tell, even every time I interact with you, you have this spirit that is just beautiful. You light up a room. And I smile whenever I see you comment on something or you're in one of my shows. And I've wanted to talk to you for so long. That tells me, Jamal, is that you have the spirit and the heart of a healer. That you could be maybe like a mentor or a coach or a guide for somebody who's feeling some troubles. Have you ever thought about doing that?
Yeah, I thought about that.
You thought about becoming a coach or a mentor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now this is what a lot of people don't know, that there are a ton of different kinds of coaches. What would be your area of expertise? What would be the community that you would help if you decided to become a coach?
Well, the only thing I would want to do is clean the entire neighborhood.
Okay, that to me is an amazing goal. That's really amazing, and it requires some steps, and that could definitely definitely be possible. So how would you do that? How would you go about cleaning up North Philly?
If I was doing one thing, I clear up the needles and everything.
Mm-hmm. So you would get rid of the drug paraphernalia, out in the open on the ground around the children's areas and public places and stuff.
Yeah.
And what after let's just say we go through all the like technical official things to be able to do that. What would you do after you cleaned up the grounds and you made it more sanitary? What would you do after that?
Well, the only thing I would do, stop the violence from happening, help the police out.
God love our boys in blue, huh? Those Philly cops are no joke. Let me tell you. They do not mess around. They don't care who you are. If they think you're up to something, they're going to let you know. Shout out to all the Pennsylvania state troopers and Philadelphia city cops out there. We love you guys. Oh my gosh. Wow. They got a tough job.
Even the military.
Even the military. Yeah. Yeah. Especially them. I mean, we've got a MEP station out there. When I joined the military and I signed up back in 94, I had to go to Philadelphia to do my MEPS processing, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's military enlistment processing. That's why they call it MEPS. They're all about making abbreviations and shit. Who would you, why not? Let's just talk about this, because I've always thought the world of you and the goodness that I see coming out of you, Jamal. Who would you want to help most first? You said you would want to help the community, the drug addicted, the homeless. Who would you coach first?
Coach my friends.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's how I started. I started by bringing my friends in to talk to me so I could get my skills a little bit more developed. Where would you hold your sessions? Would you hold your sessions in your home, at their home, in a public place, in an office? Ideally, if everything in the world was perfect, where would you want to hold those sessions?
I think I want them right here in this house.
For those of you out there, if you run your business from your home, you can get a tax break on your rent or your mortgage. Mm-hmm. Get that tax money. Get that money back. Every cent, they take too much as it is. Now, a more fun and much more exciting subject. Jamal Whitaker, you and I have something to seriously discuss right now. Before we do, quick shout out to Prince Blue out of Philadelphia. I love you, brother. We are going to beg you to come on your show before preseason starts, because Jamal and we're going to have a lot to say. Jamal, what are we thinking about the 2023-2024 Eagles team?
It's time to pick up where we left off and not make any mistakes like they did in the Super Bowl. Fumbles, defense got to work on their strategy.
Mm-hmm. What do you think happened during the Super Bowl? I mean, everything looked like it was going great, then it fell apart.
Throwing a flag on the defense. And then field goal.
Yeah. I swear to you, I was so sure they were going to win this year. So sure. Oh, it was heartbreaking. I was like, the Eagles, never going to watch them again. And, I put, were you mad? Were you mad that day?
Yeah.
Okay. So who's your favorite player on the team right now?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. He's a pretty boy, though. He's a pretty boy. I'm all about some Brandon Graham.
Like you say, truth hurts, don't it?
It does hurt. It does. I mean, I will always love Hurts, because he's a Philadelphia hero. He got to the Super Bowl, so that was pretty awesome. But I like a man of some years in his life and a little extra body to love. I love a plus size man. Just love that shit. So all those big boys, man. They make me happy to see them playing on the field, especially when they're doing all that rough and tough stuff. I'm being stupid right now, but I am a huge Bradham. I loved him. Loved Cox. I love them all. Jason Lane, Chris Long,
son of Howie Long.
Is that true?
Yes.
No. It's all about who you know.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you these days, Jamal? What are you up to? What's happening in your life? Because we are sharing Jamal Whitaker, everyone, with our audience. Jamal has been a part of our group from the very beginning. He's one of our legacy members and one of our community mentors. He shares his support and his appreciation and his knowledge with everyone in Digging from Darkness, Living in Light in one way or another. And we love you for that, Jamal. So I would love for everybody to get to know you a little bit. What is going on? What's new in your life? What's coming in the future for you? You're working on some new opportunities, I remember.
Yeah, I've been busy on vacation.
You know what, Jamal? We are where we are supposed to be, exactly when we're supposed to be there. So whatever is happening in your life right now, it is meant for you to experience, because when the time is right and you are meant to do what you're supposed to do, you're going to do it. And that's how it works, right? So we are going to talk really, really soon. I would like to invite you to become part of my mastermind coaching circuit. I would like to mentor you to see how you feel about learning a few new things. And maybe we can use that big, beautiful heart of yours to help people who need it. It's just offering because I see something super special about you. And I know that you could be an effective speaker and that you would have the ability to reach people because you're a really cool dude and people relate to people who they can talk to. You know what I mean? Are you a little shy?
I was, but not going to. A little bit talking to you.
Okay. For those of you who are not familiar with my former lifestyle, I used to be known by a different name because I was an actress in a much spicier way of life. I have since made some really cool friends who have been very respectful and supportive of my transition in life. So when I left the entertainment industry, some people reintroduced themselves to me as friends of Elizabeth Spraggins and respected my departure from living as a Laura Jensen. So I really appreciate that about you. You were one of the first, by the way, who was very kind to me when I needed it the very most. And you know what? I won't forget that.
I'm always there for you, 100%.
I believe you're just that kind of guy, that you have such a genuine heart. So Jamal, talk to us about you. What do you love to do for fun?
What I do for fun is I play in the arcade a lot of times.
I gotta ask because there's an international debate, and I swear on more than one occasion somebody should have got their ass kicked. Right? If a cheesesteak is not made in Philadelphia, is it still a Philly cheesesteak? Okay, go.
If it was a cheesesteak, I would be glad to eat it.
Well, I mean, not like would you or would you not eat it? But if they put some fucking pineapples and shit on that, like, is it still a Philadelphia cheesesteak? Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like buying a soft pretzel on the corner. You remember when they used to do that? Remember buying soft pretzels at the stoplight?
Yeah, I used to eat pretzels before. Mm-hmm.
They were so good. Oh, when my grandfather used to drive me back and forth from Philly to Jersey, he would always stop and buy me a Philadelphia soft pretzel. They were so good. We put mustard on it and everything. They're awesome. And they buy them at the stoplights from vendors, posted at stoplights off the freeway. It was the coolest thing ever. I used to have so much fun doing that. So you're a video game aficionado. You love video games. What else do you do for fun? Cool. What was your favorite game?
I used to play NASCAR all the time with my brothers.
Next question. Do you drive?
No.
I was going to say, most people in the city don't drive, right?
Yeah, I'm just a sweet person throughout the years. Look at me now.
You're all grown up. You've got a great heart. You've got a lot of love to give back. When you're not playing video games, what are you doing for fun?
Puzzle books.
Yay! Tell me about books. I love books.
I do puzzle books all the time.
Cool, like crossword puzzles and word searches and stuff?
Yep.
I used to do those until my eyes couldn't focus and I'd fall asleep. I love those. How about like puzzles, like puzzles, like pieces?
Yeah, I always did that in high school.
I have another question for you, Jamal. When you're having a bad day, what do you do to give yourself strength to get through the rest of the day? What do you do?
When I'm in a fun mood, listening to music is what I do.
Music?
Yep.
What kind of music gets you in a better mood?
Hip hop music is why I feel better.
It definitely gets me in a better mood. I mean, I know that when my husband and I go out on a date on Saturday nights, he gives me the phone and I'm right there. I'm putting on a hip hop list. I love hip hop. Do you have a favorite artist?
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Ooh.
Fast and Peppers that you can't compete with.
I love that group. Actually, I got into some trouble listening to them. Ooh. My first child was born 9 months after that. The music is going and you're trying to put yourself in a better mood. What are some other things that you do to get through a bad day?
Controlling my emotions, calming myself down, and think about what I've done in the past.
What do you mean?
When I was in high school, I get to a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah. Did you at least have fun doing it, or was it like you were in trouble?
Trouble.
Okay. So like you're not the first person I've heard say that. So now that part of your life is in the past, is that something that gets you down sometimes, or is it something you think about?
Something I think about.
Sure. Okay.
And I never do that again.
A lesson learned, right? When you see someone else having a bad day, how do you help that person feel better? What do you do? What do you say?
I tell them what's wrong. You tell me. You tell me why. Make him or her feel better.
You are such a sweetheart. Oh my gosh, you are such a sweetheart. Well, Jamal, thank you so much for coming on this show today, and I would love to have you back from my brother from another mother. Single and mingle in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We got Jamal Whitaker, you guys. Jamal, thank you so much for coming. You have been positively a delight. I told you guys he was a fun guy. He really is. He's such a sweetheart, and he's got such a heavy load on his hands. Day by day, trying to make his community a better place for people, to grow and to thrive. So Jamal, thank you so much for coming on the show. You are an amazing man, and I really look forward to seeing how your future unfolds. You've been a delight. I want to say hi out there to American Phoenix, my other brother from another mother. Yo, Charlie. Oh, that's right. I gave out your government name. Hey, Charlie. Hey. Charlie is one of our American long-haul drivers. He is a sweetheart of a man, given his all for his family and friends, and he's always been a source of love and support for me and for the people who matter to me. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that we offer our services at a heavily discounted price, especially for people who are going through hard times. And there are a lot of people going through hard times these days. So if you enjoy our show, if you enjoy what we do, or if you believe in our mission to help the community and to help people grow and become independent, or even to conquer some challenges and hardships they're having, go to alljoyinspired.store. Pick something out. There's something for everybody. We got some foul mouth things. We have some faith-based things, and we have some just funny ass shit. So go to alljoyinspired.store, pick something out for yourself, for a friend, for a family member, and every single cent of your purchase goes directly to providing services for people who can't afford it. So thank you all for being here. Please don't forget, we are here every Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins, and I am the founder of All Joy Inspired. Please don't drink and drive today or any day. Y'all have a good